y'all, it's Betsy, and today we're going to be doing a full face of testing out some new products, new-ish. I have been testing a couple of these for a little while, and I wanted to kind of give you my opinions. Now, some things are not going to be new, which is like the primer I'm using, which is just the Tatcha Silk Canvas. But I still love this primer. It's almost empty. I'm proud of myself. But as you can see, my skin's looking pretty good. Now I do have a little bit of a hormonal breakout on my chin. I go through that every time, but like where I had my staph infection, look how good that looks. The AHA, BHA peeling solution that I got from The Ordinary is amazing. But I kind of wanted to do a little bit of a tutorial demo of the new Sweet Shop palettes from BH Cosmetics. Now, if you noticed on my last two videos, I had an orange look and I had a blue look, and I'm not sure if they were on this channel or my main channel. But I've used the orange and the blue ones so far. These eyeshadow palettes are amazing. So I figured today I would do a mixture of the sugar cone one, which looks like this, because I figure a lot of people are going to be more interested in this palette versus this pistachio, which is the one I'm like super excited to play with, which looks like this. But these are amazing quality, absolutely amazing. And I have some new brushes that I got from Colourpop. I bought the brush roll set because I did get in my Colourpop order. But I figure we would just kind of play around and show you how well these work. But I know most people, or a lot of the people who so far that I've paid attention to that watch my videos tend to stick more with neutral, which is completely fine. There's nothing wrong with neutral eyeshadow. I love a good neutral look every now and then, but I also love a good colorful look. So we're gonna start off by digging in, and we're gonna go ahead and start with the shade Sugar Rush right here. I think that would be a beautiful color. And I like the size. The pans are a little large. I could have dealt with the palettes being a little bit smaller. But one thing I can say about the BH Cosmetics Monochromatics, the Sweet Shop set versus the Colourpop Monochromatics, is I like the color variation that is in here. Like, I feel like the depth of color that I'm getting from these are much better. Like, this is the Going Coconuts palette, so this is what I would compare that to. You see what I'm saying? Like, I like the tones in the BH Cosmetics better than I do the Going Coconuts, especially like the shimmers and things like that. So, and if you look at like the Just My Luck palette, it looks like this. If I can open it. So it looks like that versus the BH Cosmetics. There's a lot of similar tones, but I feel like this just, it does a better color scheme, I guess is the best way to put it, in my opinion. Because like the Sweet Shop, like their green palette is almost a mixture of both the Just My Luck and the Meant to Be palette, which I got in, but I haven't used it yet. So I think I'm gonna go into the shade Toasted next, just to deepen up my crease. Because I think what we're gonna do is keep the crease very, very neutral, and then we'll do a shimmer, one of the green shimmers on the front half of my eyelids. But you can see how well these are performing. Like, I think these, because sometimes BH Cosmetics, their shadows can be hit or miss. Like, I've had a lot that I like and a lot that I don't like. My favorites so far that I've had from BH Cosmetics are part of the Zodiac collection. I have the regular one and the Love Signs. They're both so good. But there have been other ones that are not super fantastic. But these so far, every color that I've tested, there hasn't been a dud. Now, I'm not saying you need to go out and rush and buy it, because, I mean, as I said, the sugar cone one is just about as neutral and basic warm tone brown as you can get. But I think the colorful ones are where it really stands out. And the shimmers are so pretty. I think I'm going to do, I need that out. Grab a smaller, this is the E15, so it's just a little bit smaller shader brush, and I'm gonna dip into the shade Homemade. So the deepest brown that's in there. And just place that on the outer half of my eye. But you see how well these are performing and just kind of blending together. They're not really requiring much effort at all. But these Colourpop brushes are very, very nice. If you're looking for an affordable alternative to the Morphe brushes, if you're kind of stepping away from purchasing them for a while, these are very, very good. Like, I am extremely impressed with them. Now, I have some other ones that I don't, the ones in the brush roll, the quality feels better than the other ones, in my honest opinion. There we go. Just taking that original blender brush and just really making sure everything is blended nice and smooth. That looks gorgeous, if I do say so myself. So, I've got my Too Faced glitter glue. I'm just gonna take and put a dot, a little dot, that one has a little bit more than a little dot, on each eye. And just blend that out. And I think I'm going to go into, what shade? I think I'm gonna go into the shade Crunch, which is like a deep, it's a dark green, but it's almost like a duochrome. Oh, that is beautiful. And put that over most of the middle of my lid. And then I'll use something lighter on the inside. Those are beautiful. Let me swatch that for you. See how pretty that is? Just look at that shimmer. Stunning, absolutely stunning. And just kind of fade it in, gently pulling towards the brown. Kind of fades the two together. Okay, and then I think I'm going to wipe that off. And I'm going to go into the shade Treat, which is the lighter grassier green, next to it. and use that for, oh yeah, that's gorgeous too, the inner corner. And then I'll use one of the other shades as my inner corner highlight. But so pretty. And I mean, there is no real effort with this eye look. I mean, this is pretty simple and easy for, I mean, anybody to do. So, I like that. Now I'm just gonna go back into the Sweet Shop palette and go back into that shade Homemade. And just dust it a little bit over the edges just to make sure everything is nice and blended together. That looks really pretty. And to me, like a smoky, grungy eye is the best. Like, I love that kind of look. Now we're gonna go in with the new Colourpop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Hydrating Foundation. This stuff is amazing. I dropped a sponge. It is so good. But I really do like, for the most part, most things in the Pretty Fresh line. The tinted moisturizer wasn't my favorite, but everything else I have been super duper impressed with. And I'm wearing the shade 20C1, or no, sorry, medium 85N. So this is just a medium neutral foundation. And as you can see, it blends really well. Now, my arms are so much darker than my face. Typically, I try to exercise outside daily, and I try to make sure my sunscreen stays on my face. It comes off worse on my body. But I just enjoyed being out in the sun. But look how easy that covered up everything. And it's still got a nice hydrating look to it. But it's a good medium coverage, so it's not too heavy. And with it having the hyaluronic acid in it, if you moisturize your skin real well beforehand, it will help your face stay moisturized, which during the summer, I don't have a whole lot of problems. I know some people do. We don't have dry heat down here in Southeast Texas. We have so much humidity, it ain't even funny. But I know some people have issues with it being dry heat and needing something like that that helps keep the moisture. This is almost empty. But I do have some Murad stuff that's coming in to help with my hyperpigmentation that I have on my upper lip. That is one thing that I'm super self-conscious about. So I'll let you know how that goes. Well, I mean, you'll be able to see how that goes. But adding just a little bit of concealer right out towards this edge and where it's pulled more like the angled up definitely helps almost give yourself a little bit of a facelift, if like a makeup facelift, or at least I feel like it does, because my skin is not terrible, but I mean, I'm 37 years old. It is not as young as it once was, and I haven't been the nicest person to my skin. I have tanned a lot because when I was younger, we thought, you know, tanning beds were better for you than the sun, and then come to find out it was worse. I'm just using some of the Too Faced Peach Perfect setting powder. Just to kind of set under my eyes and my nose. Because that's typically where I have the most issue with things wanting to wear. Allergy season. But see, they look pretty. Okay, so now I'm gonna be playing with the Nomad Cosmetics Sydney Bathers. I'm probably saying that. Yeah, Bathers, B-A-T-H-E-R-S, I think is how that's said. I'm guessing Nomad, the Sydney palette. And playing with the bronzer in it. I have used it a couple of times. This is a very pretty, nice, light shade of bronzer. But it blends out beautifully. You know, one of the things that I always have trouble with is blending, finding like the right shade of bronzer, finding the right shade of foundation, because I have such an unusual undertone and there is such a huge difference in my arms. I mean, as you can see, they're like 10 shades darker. And the rest of my body is like 10 shades darker than my face. And used to, I'd want to try to match my body, and now I don't. I try to keep it because my neck and my face are pretty pale in comparison. But see how easy that just went on and blended out? It's so pretty. So, so pretty. This is an oldie but a goodie. This is the Narcissist palette, the 1-in-1. And I'm just gonna use like a very neutrally toned blush, this shade right here in the middle. I always get confused on which shades are which. Very, very pretty. Bronzer brush again. Lose my eye thingies. Because I want it to be a little bit more neutral than that came out. So just mixing a little bit of the bronzer in with it, I think looks very, very pretty. This is an old one that I haven't used in forever. This is the Stila Heaven's Hue highlighter in the shade Bronze. These are so pretty. I forgot how good these were. I just haven't really messed with it in forever. I've gotten so many new ones, but I have kind of figured out that highlight, I love highlighter, don't get me wrong, but if I'm looking for something really kind of special to spend my makeup budget on, it's always going to be eyeshadow. I love good eyeshadow. I just can't help it. So let's go back into the Sugar Cone palette, and I'm just going to use that same big fluffy brush, and I'm going to go into the shade Delicious and just put a whole lot of that under my eye. Look how pretty that looks. Now I'm gonna take, this is another one of the little Colourpop, I think I'm gonna say, no, I'm gonna use that one. A pencil brush in E19, and I'm gonna go into the deepest shade, Homemade. And keep that very tight to my lash line. But for me and my eye shape and things like that, and that's one of the things you got to figure out whenever you're doing your makeup, is you know, there are some people who can pull off cut creases and halo eyes and things like that. To me, that is not the most flattering shape for my eyes. And this is new. This is the Colourpop BFF Cream Gel Eyeliner in the shade Icebreaker, like a minty green. I ordered the tie-dye, not the full collection, but I ordered the palettes, the 3 palettes, and the gel cream eyeliners. See, that just gives a little bit of brightness. Makes my eyes look a little bit more open. But it doesn't help that I shoved a pencil in my eye, or not a pencil, an eye brush. This is an oldie but a goodie. I've had this eye pencil for years. This is the Anastasia original perfect brow pencil. I don't even know if they still make this. But it's just so quick. But when my eyebrows are done, like whenever I have them waxed or threaded, like, I don't spend a whole lot of time on them. I don't like, I mean, don't get me wrong, I like when my eyebrows are done, but I don't like perfect eyebrows, if that makes sense. Like, I like it, see how they're enhanced, but they still look natural. Let's go ahead and use this pistachio palette again, and I'm gonna go into the shade Sweet Life. I think that that's going to be the best shade to use as an inner corner highlight. Oh, look how pretty that is. It's like a super bright lime green. So this is the E20, just a tiny little shader brush. Use a tiny bit of setting spray. See how when you're doing your eyes, don't forget about your inner corner. See how much I just brightened up my face? Can't beat it. Setting spray. Now to the left is just mascara and lips. But if any of the BH Cosmetics Sweet Shop palettes speak to you, if any of the colors do, and they're in your beauty budget to purchase them, they are wonderful. Some of my favorite monochromatic palettes, and I've used 4 out of the 6. So I haven't used the pink one yet, which will be used this week, or the red one. But I did see Angelica Nyquist. I love watching her. She's a beauty YouTuber who loves color. Use the red one and the blue one and the green one this morning on YouTube, and they turned out phenomenal. And just to let you know, the mascara I'm using is the Essence Lash Princess. This is the Sculpted Volume Mascara. I think this is the False Lash Effect one. Good inexpensive eye mascara. The Lash Princess is amazing, absolutely amazing. I think I can say that Essence has the absolute best drugstore mascaras out there. I touched my nose. There we go. Now, last but not least is the Colourpop Just a Tint. This is in the shade Z Boys. These are amazing. Like, especially during the summer, well, now at any point, I like a good glossy lip. As I've gotten older, my lips just look drier and drier, and I don't enjoy that look. This is just a regular paper towel. But I don't enjoy that look. And I can't be bothered with using a regular lipstick most of the time, even though I own 20 billion of them. I prefer a lip gloss. But these are just a hint of color. That's why they're called just a tint. They kind of smell a little chemically, honestly, but the way that they make your lips look, and they're so easy to apply. I own 2 of them and I'm thinking about ordering more because they're so good. So these, definite plus. Same thing with the Colourpop Just a Tint lips. They are amazing. Plus, if you're looking for a good medium coverage foundation, the Colourpop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Acid is awesome. But I guess that's it for today's video. Don't forget to check me out on all my social media, Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter, and Instagram. And we'll have a new video on Wednesday, trying out some more new makeup. But I guess that's it. We'll see y'all Wednesday. Bye.